Mike, we got to talk a little bit about Penn State. You wrote a column on the front page of the Sunday News from last Sunday that if you haven't seen yet, folks, take a look at. It's a good read. The report came out, and it wasn't flattering. It said more than a lot of people thought it was going to say. It sort of painted a bad picture of Joe Paterno. We'll get to that in a second. But with what has come up with who knew in the leadership roles at Penn State, should the NCAA be stepping in, and should they have a death penalty if they step in?
Death penalty, certainly no. I think, I think you have to. I think a lot of people are just flush with vindictiveness right now and want to shake their fist at Penn State. I think you have to take a deep breath and think a little bit. The death penalty would punish the heck out of people who had nothing to do with this, and not punish at all people who had everything to do with this. Right. How does the death penalty punish Grand Spanier and Tim Curley at this point, and obviously Joe Paterno at this point in I was going to say in his life, but his life is gone, there's a lot of logistical things to think about here, but here's one of them. Penn State football funds the athletic department. The athletic department of Penn State doesn't take a penny from the state, from the government, from the general fund of the university. It funds itself. If you take away football, then it no longer funds itself. Right. So either you kill field hockey and soccer and swimming at Penn State, or you fund soccer and field hockey and swimming at Penn State. How do you feel about that? You want to start as a fallout of this, having money coming out of your pocket to fund Penn State's athletic department? I don't think so, but that would be an absolute byproduct of the death penalty. Death penalty, let's make sure everybody understands, is shutting down a football program altogether, or shutting down an athletic program. For a period of time, not indefinitely. Not indefinitely. SMU had it shut down for a year, but it basically was almost 2 years. It was 2 years, and they still haven't recovered. That was back in '87. And that was explained very well in your column. That was done because the bad procedure, the bad habit, wasn't going to stop. Wasn't going to stop. By them asking them to stop it. And there was no involvement by law enforcement. Which there has been obviously tremendous, law enforcement appropriately, here, correctly so, in the Penn State. The 4 people that have been identified that were involved with this are gone from the university. Okay, so the other thing is here. What do you think the NCAA should do, or will do, or how? If they need to do, if they feel they have to do something, I don't think they have to do anything. But if they feel they have to do something, and I think they do, I think media pressure. Yeah, I think they feel they have to do something. Then I would have no problem with them, formally stripping some of the past victories, which they might do. I mean, I don't like that, but I would have no real problem with that. Certainly. Hammer Graham Spanier, hammer Tim Curley. You can't have these guys on your payroll. They can't collect you can threaten them with, we're going to come in hard unless you take away his pension and get him tenure off the payroll, tenure anything. You can't he can't work in Pennsylvania again. Do something like that, I would have no problem with. I think that would say that you did the right stuff. I don't understand why we need to keep going after, they've gone rid of the 4 guys involved. The statue. If you're going to take away the statue for Paterno, and maybe it should, because every time there's going to be a football game there, you're going to see a camera point that statue, and you're going to bring up Jerry Sandusky and Paterno, and how's that moving on. But if you're going to take that statue, and I'll ask you your opinion in a second, then make sure that Spanier's tenure is taken away. Make sure if you can go after pensions, you go after it, because these guys need to be reprimanded as well. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I would have no problem taking. I was sort of ambivalent about this, but the last couple of days I kind of changed my thinking on this. I would be in favor of taking the statute down, simply because there's no way around, no matter how we feel about it, there's no way around the symbol that statue now is. A statue is a symbol. What does it symbolize? Why do you want to symbolize that? So I would be in favor of taking the statue down.